going to accept, even when the numbers don't look right, we're going to figure out a way to get it done, and we got it done because we've got a strong, bold leader as our speaker, Mike Johnson.
Thanks, bud. Thank you all for being here. Thank this great leadership team. Thank you, Congressman Jimmy Patronis, who has represented Florida's Panhandle so well. So grateful to have the Patty family, Frank and Mandy, and we have a lot in common, actually. My grandfather's from Sicily as well. His name was Nunzio Messina, okay? They went a little further west in the Gulf. Yeah, okay, right. I could have been somebody. I could have been Vinny Messina. I got Mike Johnson instead. It's so boring. But anyway, I love my father's side of the family as well. But here we are. Grateful that you're here. You all are going to see us highlighting real hardworking Americans for the foreseeable future, because the One Big Beautiful Bill helps everybody. And you're going to hear their stories, and you're going to hear what it means to them and what it means to their employees in this case, what it means to the people who have really been struggling to pay the bills. The last 4 years was a disaster under the Biden-Harris Democrat big government socialist policies, and now we're getting back to American principles. America's back, and everybody's going to benefit from it. I want to talk to you about that a little bit, but just first, I mean, it's appropriate for us to note it was 1 year ago Sunday that on that field in Butler, Pennsylvania, that an assassin nearly took the life of President Trump. And we can't talk about it too much because it was a turning point in American history. It could have gone the wrong way. I mean, if that assassin's bullet missed just an inch to the right, or if President Trump would have turned his head just a millisecond later, he would have died on that stage, and this country would have come apart at the seams. But now, because of all this recent success and the president's success, it's easy to forget that just 12 months ago, President Trump was the most vilified politician, arguably, in the history of the country. Democrats spent years persecuting him on all fronts. They impeached him twice. Social media platforms removed his ability to communicate with his supporters. Armed FBI agents raided his home. Democrat judges and prosecutors bent the law to arrest him, and multiple assassins tried to kill him. But God miraculously spared the president's life. I think it's undeniable, and he did it for an obvious purpose. And his presidency and his life are the fruits of divine providence, and he points that out, obviously, now all the time, and he's right to do so. As President Trump has lived since, with the acknowledgement, every day since, he has acknowledged that each new day isn't guaranteed to us. It isn't to any of us, and that's why we're not wasting any time. It's why he remains so strong and resilient. It's why we have such a sense of urgency. President Trump took a bullet to his head. He got up shortly thereafter. He pleaded with the crowd to fight, and then he went on to win a historic election less than 4 months later. America's changed because he survived that day. Think about everything that we've been able to accomplish, and just over the last few weeks. I recounted this on the floor in the speech right after Hakeem finished his endless 8.5-hour, parade of lies. I said it takes a lot longer to build a lie than it does to tell the simple truth, and the truth is on our side. And as John Adams said, facts are stubborn things. We can't wait to talk about the facts, about the big, beautiful bill over this next year and a half or so till the election. But think about everything we've accomplished just the last few weeks. Gas prices hit a 4-year low. The last 4 jobs reports exceeded expectations. The stock market is reaching record highs. We have the lowest monthly border encounters in the history of the United States. Our NATO partners committed to spending 5%, not 2% of their GDP on national defense. We brokered multiple peace agreements and struck many more trade deals, more to come. Significantly damaged Iran's nuclear program, and on July 4th, we did sign the One Big Beautiful Bill. The President signed it into law. It's the most consequential, transformational legislation ever considered in our lifetimes, and we got it done because the Republican Party delivered on the promises we made to the American people. And the President did as well. That list that I just mentioned barely scratches the surface. President Trump has promised the most, and has delivered now, the most successful first 6 months of any president in the modern era, and many argue probably in the history of this great nation. And he's shown no signs of stopping. We won't. Every citizen in every zip code in every pocket of America will benefit from the Big Beautiful Bill. Just like the Pattys explained, you'll hear story after story in the weeks ahead. Last week, my office sent a survey to our constituents. I serve Louisiana's 4th Congressional District, and we sent around a survey to Louisiana families, knowing that they're going to save thousands of dollars now because of the vote that we took on July 3rd. We asked them, how would you use the extra money? And here's some of the responses. James said he's going to use the savings to open a Roth IRA for his family. Janice is an 80-year-old widow. She said she's going to use the savings for much-needed repairs to her home. Whitney is in a retirement home. She's going to utilize the savings to help pay rent. Pamela is grateful for the increased standard deduction and will likely add these savings to a rainy day fund for future expenses. Another constituent named James said he doesn't even want the relief. He said he's going to spend his thousands. He'd like to send it back to us to, quote, use for more plane tickets for people heading back south of the border wall. Okay? All right? That's a real response. All right? So, yeah. So many of my constituents said they would use their savings on things like basic needs and bills and debt payment and transportation and home repairs and helping family members and adding to their emergency funds, or some of them taking a well-deserved vacation. You know what? As Jimmy said earlier, it's their money. It's not the government's money, and we're delighted to give it back to them. That's the beauty of the One Big Beautiful Bill, and you can spend it however you please. I know the stories are similar in the other 434 congressional districts across this country. Despite the Democrats' repeated lies about the bill, lower and middle income Americans are going to reap the greatest benefit. Individuals making less than $50,000 per year will receive the largest benefit from the tax cuts. Tipped and overtime workers will see no taxes on those wages. Take-home pay for the typical hardworking American family will increase by over $10,000 a year, and over 50 million seniors will now pay no taxes on their Social Security. This is real. The bill was written of, by, and for the American people. And with President Trump's signature on Independence Day, the American people will finally begin to feel relief. I'll just end with this statement and we'll take some questions. America First is no longer an agenda. It is now the law of the land. And that's what the people voted on last November to deliver, and we did it in less than half a year. So take a few questions. Front row.
First of all, Speaker,